It's stuck in time. Okay, here we go.
Okay,
All right. Good evening. Good evening. Hello, everyone. I'm so super excited to be on today with an extremely special VIP guest on this evening as we prepare and do some pre-conference convo for the Get Up, Dust Yourself Off and Win conference that's happening in Houston, Texas on October the 5th, this coming Saturday. So super excited about it. We're having the worthiness experience. We're talking about worthiness in dating, worthiness in relationships, worthiness in marriage, and in business. You know, when life happens, sometimes we don't feel like we deserve God's best for our life. We feel like that we're less than, it's over for us. But at the conference, we're going to let you know that it's not over. I have the amazing Dr. Yvonne, D. Yvonne Young on with me today. Before I let him introduce himself, I want to tell you about a little bit more about the conference. If you haven't gotten your tickets, go to getupandwin.com. We have a few tickets left so that you can come and have a life-changing experience, so that you can come get the information and learn about this whole dating scene, navigating the dating scene, relationships, and all of that kind of stuff. The questions that you've been wanting to ask and haven't gotten the answers to, this will be your time to get answers to those questions. So again, go to getupandwin.com, grab your tickets. It's going to be absolutely amazing. So Dr. D. Yvonne Young, would you introduce yourself? I know you probably don't have to introduce yourself to many, but go ahead, sir.
That really feels funny. That's like when somebody asks you, tell me what you want. That's a hard question to answer, but I'm Dr. D. Yvonne Young. I am a public figure, but I'm best known for, I guess, depending on how you access me, I have a couple of shows, one called Fatal Attraction on TV One. I have another one called Snap Killer Couples on Oxygen. And then there's the books, and then there's been a few syndicated radio shows. As also, I do a lot of lecturing on the laws of attraction. My TEDx just hit 1.7 million views, I think, or something like that. So I'm out there.
And so one of the key things, that's absolutely amazing, your expertise when it comes to relationships, it's absolutely amazing. When I actually met you earlier in the year at an event, and some of the information that you shared there was absolutely phenomenal. And so at the conference, we're going to be talking about, in your particular session, we're going to be talking about what will the real quality men please stand up? And so, I think that's a question, and you can tell me now whether you hear this all the time. As a matter of fact, the event we were at was She Makes More. And so a lot of female bosses, are saying, I don't know where the quality men are. I can't find anybody. And it's been up for debate whether or not there's a shortage of quality men or we're just not connecting. And so what are your thoughts on that, Dr. Young?
Being honest with you, there are a couple of things I want to say to that. First of all, there's probably not a shortage of anybody, men or women, but how can you find something that you're not prepared to find? If you haven't gotten your ducks in a row, you don't have you together, don't be surprised when you go looking for, quote unquote, this quality man and nobody's at the table. At the end of the day, it's real simple. When you bring a lot to the table, you'll probably eat alone. And what I mean by that is men who are of substance, who are quality, and I'm not saying brothers don't go out and have fun and kick it and go to the club or do what they do, but the truth be told, how can you find something that really is worth your time when you are in all the wrong dang places? A lot of people, they figure, well, I'm gonna go to church and meet a man. Well, you should be at church worshiping God, and God will bring a man to you. Other people figure, well, if I just join a gym, well, if you're in the gym and you're not putting in work, brothers probably aren't going to notice you especially you walking around trying to be a princess. At the end of the day, for you to have what you really seek, what you really want in life, you have to be that which you seek. When you become that, the desire or the need to find or connect with people won't be so hard, because you will automatically, kind of like water finds its level, you will
Attracted.
attract that which you are.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. I know that a lot of women, especially professional women, some of them say, well, you know what? I'm not going to fall into the Build-A-Bear syndrome that, I don't want a man that's a fixer-upper that I have to fix up. And then some women are like, I like taking on projects. I like, fixing up my man. And then they're angry when after they fix him up, he's gone. And so, so I know you do a lot of coaching and counseling. Have you encountered those situations?
Oh my God, yes. What's really funny is that when you look at people, just in general, what you find is that a lot of folks are out here looking for someone to complete them, looking for someone that they figure, well, if I just can get this relationship. Here's the truth. If you want to be happy, you need to start with bringing some happiness to the table. You walk up, and let's say you do meet this perfect woman or this perfect man, and when you meet this person, the first date goes really well. You go and get intimate, and then 3 or 4 weeks later, you're wondering why this person isn't calling you. Well, first, nobody's looking for an emotional parasite. Second, the people that really can bring something to you, the people that really have something that you probably would want, they're looking for the same thing. I know when people would talk to me and they'd be like, well, Doc, what's going on with you? And the first thing that I would say to someone is, I am not looking for a dependent. I don't need somebody that I need to take care of. And what I mean by that is this. Bring something to the table.
To the table.
If you can't put something on the water bill and the house note, at least make sure the house is clean and there's a clean glass to drink out of, right? If you have your ducks in a row and you have your money together, you have your credit together, could you at least elevate my consciousness? Can you make me see a reflection of myself when I look at you? Are the things that you're attracted to in me resonating deep within your own consonance and your own character? So as we start looking for these things, these attributes, so to speak, the one thing that you have to have is that which you're looking for. Because even if you do find it, the odds of you keeping it are slim to zero.
That's good. That's good. I think a lot of times, sometimes as women, we have this long list of things or expectations from men and what we're looking for. Some ridiculous, some not, the spectrum is wide. But sometimes we have false expectations and what we're expecting. And it's important that we prepare and that we'll hold ourselves so that we do have something to bring to the table. And I like how you gave different scenarios of bringing something. It doesn't always have to be all financial or, all emotional, but bring something of worth and value to the table that's going to be meaningful and help build a positive and strong relationship. So I think that's awesome. So for those of you who are watching, we are having a pre-conference convo with Dr. Young. My name is Tammy Durden, international speaker, author, and founder and executive director of Tammy Durden Ministries International, who hosts the Get Up, Dust Yourself Off and Win Empowerment Conference. This is our 5th year. We're honored to have Dr. Young with us this year. And so we're just kicking it off this today, having some conversation, talking about relationships, talking about dating. So Dr. Young, I know at one time, and it still could be popular, the book Think Like a Man. And so I knew some, brothers that were, upset when the book came out and all of that kind of stuff. And I know some sisters that were interested in what's in it. But when it comes to different concepts and things like that were shared in the book, do you think or do you recommend any of those?
Hell no.
Dr. Young.
I'm going to go here with this, okay? Because we have the same management teams in play. So, we have the same attorneys. Jaylene is my attorney. Ricky is my attorney. So I'm not going to knock Steve or his book. but I'm going to just say this to you.
Okay.
A lot, you know, when you write a book to sell it to an audience, you know the audience and what they're looking to hear from you. I'm not going to say that I'm going to refute the content of the book. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give my opinion. I think it's a bunch of bull. And here's why. Number one, like most eligible people, you're not sitting around looking for somebody. You probably have the ability to pick and choose who you want to go out with, who you want to sleep with, who you want to have dinner with. I mean, especially if you are doing what you should be doing, which is taking care of your health, taking care of yourself cognitively, spiritually, and emotionally. Consider this. One of the things that book says, have a 90-day rule. Men are much more concerned about who you give your cookies to, just to keep this polite. After you've been with them, the thing that you figure, well, I'm going to make you wait, you know. Well, first of all, to any man that really has his stuff together, your cookies aren't all that valuable because he can get cookies whenever he wants. He can get Keebler, Famous Amos, you know, the guys in the tall oak tree, whatever, right? Cookies are everywhere. S'mores, even variations of cookies. Okay. So it's not that serious. The other part of it, and I think a lot of women fall for this, well, I made him wait. Well, you probably think you made him wait, but he had little mama who was coming over doing something strange for some change, or just doing whatever that she would do when he called her at 2 a.m., 1 a.m., 7 a.m., or while he was at work. So while you thinking this brother's waiting on you, you've lost your mind if you believe that. Mm-hmm. The other part of that book is these things about I'm dating with a purpose. That is the biggest turnoff. When you go in, I did this tour called the Great Love Debate Tour. I headlined it in New York, in DC, Atlanta, LA, a bunch of cities around the country. One of the things that was the biggest, I think, bunch of bull for people is that they will go and write and go these dating sites, Farmers Only, Christian Mingle, Date My Negro. No, I just made that up. That's not it. But whatever website they would go on.
Yes. And
then you write a narrative. I'm only looking for a husband, and I'm only dating with a purpose. Well, let me tell you what you're doing. You're giving somebody a roadmap to pimp you like a $2 garden tool. I know you thought I was going to say it, didn't you?
Don't do it. Don't do it.
But I ain't going to do it. Yes, I am, but not on this interview. But like a $2. Yeah, anyway. So at the end of the day, what ends up taking place is you've given somebody all the right things to say to you, to play you, exploit you, gaslight you, catfish you, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And it was all a game. This happens for what I give this to brothers. I've had a lot of brothers say, you know, Doc, man, you know, I want to find me a good church girl. And I'm like, well, when pastors say, hold up your envelope, and if you one of these people that goes to a pimping pastor that actually has a gold envelope for you to give $100, you know, if you go to a church like that, it was a joke, but you might want to change churches. Anyway, but I'm just getting to the point. And people know, well, the gold envelope means $100.
Got a little change.
Brother giving 100, huh? Well, the platinum envelope means $500. Oh! And see, what you're doing is you're advertising. It's the equivalent of some dude at a bar reaching in his pocket, and you got the fake brother that has a 50 and 100 with a bunch of ones in the middle. Then you got the fool that actually does have a few hundreds and 50s in there. Well, first, let me give you this. You can't put real money in your pocket. Am I lying? You can't put $30,000, $100,000 in your pocket unless you are really an idiot. But at the end of the day, these are the little signals that we want to telegraph. And with women, the signal is piety and virtue. I want to telegraph that, I don't do that. I don't have sex on the first date. Well, it doesn't matter if you have it on the first date or the 50th date, if you're not loyal after you do it, you probably aren't going to get too far. If you overesteem your physical attributes, your butt, your chest, and brothers, your biceps, whatever. Well, there's going to always be somebody that's got a bigger arm than you, a bigger booty than you, better cleavage than you, a better weave than you. Truth be told, is that really what you want to be to somebody, or do you want somebody to like you because of who you really are, not who you're pretending to be?
Exactly.
Being real about it. Real people, especially self-made people who haven't been handed their wealth. Like my brand, I built that brand. Nobody built that brand for me. I know what it's like to meet people at Barnes & Noble because I didn't have an office at the time. I also know what it's like to have a whole bunch of money in my pocket and not have anybody I can trust.
Right.
I know what it's like to create wealth and abundance and then not be able to move beyond my small circle, because when I do, there are not too many people out there I can trust. You know where I'm going? So what I'm saying to you is this: keep it real, keep it 100, and stop trying to put all this bait out and then get mad when anything takes the bait and steals your bait and you're sitting up there with no fish on the hook.
Right. Now, so that's one of the things I love about you, Dr. Young, is that you're real. And so I'm a PK, grew up in church and spiritual background all the way. And so, but what I found in growing up was we got the spiritual side, but we didn't get the practical side, right? The real side.
Yeah.
We learned the Bible, but we didn't learn how to live life. Some of us didn't. And so because of that, we learned a lot of lessons the wrong way, the hard way. But I think that it's time, for realness and the truth, based on some of the things you just said. I know some of my listeners are probably like, whoa, but the real truth is the real truth. Now, if you want to keep getting, taken for granted, if you keep, if you want to keep living in la la land and not face what reality really is, it's important that we have the spiritual and that we have the practical, and that, that we're just honest about situations, because that's why we're floundering in relationships. That's why we're not successful, because we have the blinders on and we're really not facing the truth about what happens in life and what's out there. I've been one of those. I've been those that gave all the details and, got taken advantage of because I gave them a blueprint on how to do it. So what you were saying definitely is real and definitely resonates. And so that's why I think that it's important for you to get to the conference. If you have not gotten your tickets yet, be sure to go to getupandwin.com. And what you hear this evening was just a tip of the iceberg. You'll be able to come with your questions. Dr. Young is going to be there with us, and be providing some more information, some more wisdom, so that we can get it together. So men are invited. Dr. Young, why do you think that it's important for men to show up at the conference?
Well, there are a couple of things. One, there are a lot of brothers out there, good men, and that the problem is you don't know what to do, what to say, because now we live in a time that you pay somebody a compliment, next thing you know, you got a sexual harassment lawsuit at work or you're terminated. Another thing that can really interfere with this is that where do you meet quality women? What I really feel that this conference can provide, and it's very necessary that this be provided at this critical stage.
Absolutely.
And the times that we're living in now, is that first, you need to get rid of the drive-through mentality, thinking that I'm going to get this person, I'm going to meet this person happily ever after, and this relationship is going to be my end-all be-all. It's going to soothe me and give me what I want. That is delusional. Stop thinking it. At best, get in the attitude where, you know what? I just want to be friends. Let me get to know you. Let's kick it. Let me see what you're like when your money's funny. Let me see how you act when you feel intimidated or threatened. Let me see how you act when your temper kicks in.
Right.
Let me see how you handle lack. depression. How do you handle it when I come to you, disclose something to you? Do you throw it in my face later?
Right.
You know, I've watched people self-destruct in so many ways. One of them is I've seen people, I just can't meet anybody. And then you say just the right trigger, just the right thing. Well, wait a minute now, damn, you know, kibbles and bits here. You want a sausage? Because after they start tripping and show you, well, you mean to tell me I just complimented you and now you're gonna accuse me of what? Or somebody says, well, I thought this was a relationship. Have you lost your damn mind? No, I was sitting next to you at communion and I passed you, you know, just a little thing of grape juice. How is this a relationship, right? I mean, some people get so desperate and they're so siloed that they don't even realize that you're giving off this air of neediness. You meet somebody, you blow up their phone. Well, I called you, you didn't call me back. Well, I actually work for a living.
That's unattractive, right?
Yeah, I practice law. I have a medical practice. I'm a brand. I'm not sitting around with nothing to do all day. So I might not be able to call you back till tomorrow. And if you've been blowing up my phone, the call you probably would have gotten this evening's not coming, right? Or the other thing is the exact opposite. Okay, well, you just text me. I'm going to wait an hour before I hit you back. Well, why are you playing games? What's the game?
Just stop the games.
Yeah, stop the games, right? So that there's so much that I feel this conference needs to reveal. And being even bigger, you know, Tammy, I've been having people ask me, when are you coming to my city?
Right.
So as I'm anticipating this to go well, which based on sales and whatever it is going very well, we will possibly partner and do this and some other places in America, you know, on the East Coast, West Coast, Mid-Central, you know, New York, Miami, what have you. But I just want you to know that if you can't invest in perfecting being of the best version of you, and what I mean by that is coming to something like this.
Yes.
You may not be able to come to my office because I'm not Walmart. So I don't have something that this, if people say, well, Doc, you know, how much does it cost to come see you? I said, well, how much you spend on that Birkin bag and those red bottom shoes? I mean, you pay for what you get, and that includes with coaches and advisors and what have you. But at the end of the day, you have to go where fertile ground is. Yes. This conference is fertile ground. You are the seed. But if you don't plant yourself in fertile ground, you can't reap a harvest with like-minded people.
Exactly.
I totally am on board with, I'm an advocate for perfecting self. You know, tomorrow I'm flying to Washington, D.C. to speak at this Coach Diversity Conference, which if you're in D.C., you really need to go to that, to talk about self-empathy and giving attention to your own needs. This conference on Saturday is definitely going to be about your needs and giving attention to elevating not only your perspective, but eliminating some of these presumptuous attitudes, these outdated values, and these, I want to look politically correct and I want to sound godly when ain't nothing godly about your eating. but you already know where I'm going. But this thing is about leveling up and leveling out, and giving you the tools that you need from us so that you can start living a profoundly extraordinary life.
Yes, awesome. What great closing words for that. So if you haven't gotten your ticket already after that, I don't know what you're waiting on. Be sure to go to getupandwin.com. Again, what you heard this evening is just a tip of the iceberg of what you're going to get on Saturday. Again, I'm so honored to have you with us, Dr. Young. Excited about it. I believe some groundbreaking and life-changing things are going to take place on Saturday. And I'm just excited to see what's going to unfold. So thank you. I appreciate you. To everyone that's watching, thank you so much for watching. Of course, you can catch the replays later, the watch parties later of this. And again, go to getupandwin.com and grab your tickets to the conference. So I'll see you Saturday. Thank you, Dr. Young.
All right. Thank you. Bye, everybody. See you Saturday.
Bye.